Hello, welcome back. It's Thursday and it's time for Crafty Chris and part two, I guess you could call it, of what we discussed last week, which was making tags out of your leftover papers. So last week I just briefly went over how I created this and why I created these, and I want to show you today and work with you today on a couple of layouts using tags. Now, this is nothing out of my brain. I just went to the Pinterest and found a couple of tag borders that had, or pages that had tags in them, and then I did my sort of take on it with the colors that I had. So the first layout that I created was this layout, and I'm intending to use this for me and my crafty friends because we have been online together, so I have some online photos. So I've got a simple little border. I've got a number of the same width tags and some yarn that coordinates, and then I've used a black and white background on this side. I may color it, I may not, I don't know, it depends on when I get the photos, but it does say colorful. So I have my doilies and 3 photos, 2x2 photos there of me and my friends in our scrapbooking during COVID. Then this is the second one I did, and this one is called Adventure, and again went on to Pinterest and looked for any layout that had a tag. So here again we've got this vertical tag positioning, but the tags are all different colors and all different sizes, where this one was sort of coordinated colors from pink to blue. This one is just random sort of earthy tones and colors that I pulled out of my big pack of tags. Now, I did have to trim some of them down to make them work for the page layout that I was doing, but and some of them I kept at the regular size. I pop dotted this one so that it would stand out a little bit more on the layout. And then of course I have 3 photos, and this could be a travel page, or it could be just me and my girlfriends up at one of my girlfriend's cottages. So that's where we're at with that. So now I want to put together a page. I'm going to put those up there, and I'm going to pull out a few things. I want animal stickers and some leaves. I have an idea of what I'm doing here. Some tabs and tags, some flower stickers and cardstock, and some attachers. I've pulled out some coordinating letters for my title, but I'm not sure exactly which of these I'm going to use, so I'm just going to put them aside till I get to that point. And then I've pulled out a white piece of paper and some coordinated tags, and I have 4 tags here, and we are going to start our layout in just a moment. Okay, so I have my 4 cards. So I got orange, pink, red, and yellow basically. I'm working with that those analogous colors, and I pulled out of my binder. I should show you my binder. I've shown you this before, and it's just a whole whack of scraps that were big enough for matting and using for this kind of activity. So I've got some pieces that I've kind of pulled out that coordinate with my pieces on the board. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim them, stick them on and trim them down, and I'm going to have, they're going to be sort of stuck on at varying levels on the tag. So I'm just going to quickly do that now. A very sticky adhesive right now. Okay, so I'm going to give it about, let's see, 3/4 of an inch from the bottom, and align it to the one side. And I'm just going to trim off the excess with the big scissors. Remember, when you have a long way to trim, you want longer blades on your scissors. Shorter areas, shorter blades. Okay, there's my first one. And let's do the second one. Oop. So this one I'm maybe going to start at a 1/2 inch from the corner. More or less. Doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. I'm going to need a little more adhesive here, and there. There we go. Now I'm going to trim that down with my long shears. There we go. And this one's quite a bit over, so I am just going to go to there. And I have this adhesive I'm not really fond of. This one I'm going to put 3/4 of the way up. No, I'm going to put it 1 inch from the bottom. There we go. And then I'm going to cut this off. There we are. And I'm going to keep that piece because it's reusable. This one is reusable as well, as is that one. So these are my reusable pieces. And this is going to be reusable as well. And I'm going to center this one. So alrighty, so if I'm looking at this, I'm going to center it 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to, oops, got some excess there. I'm going to center it on this line here because the main part is 4 inches. There we go. And trim off this. And put this aside because I can use that again. And there's my 3 tags. Okay, so the idea is to have these tags kind of coming up and down across the page, a little bit of overlapping where possible, something like that. And so I dug out some things I haven't used in a while, and I have these butterflies, and I really love these butterflies. This is too pale for this layout, but I'm loving this hot pink one, and I kind of want it to be somewhere in this area, but I also want to have a title, and I want my title to go maybe across the bottom here. Not sure. This has a clip on the back which I can just pop off. It's just glued on there, and then I can stick that down better. But this is sort of where I'm at in terms of how I want to lay this out. Now, I want to put some doodads across these lines, across the top, and because I've already picked butterflies as my thing, my go-to, I want to take a look at what butterfly-like things I may have in here. There's another butterfly. And they don't have to be matching because we just kind of want, oh, look at all these little guys. We want them in sort of the range of colors. This gray one, well, maybe, who knows. And I can also color some if I want to color some. What else is in here? Oh, there's another butterfly that I already colored. That might be too much. Alright, so I'm going to put all my other little bits of animal-y things there. And this looks like it has more than butterflies in it. So I kind of want to have that like that. Maybe these guys can cross over a little bit. There we go. Alright, got some different kinds of butterflies here. Or moths. I guess some of them could be more moth-like. Don't want ladybugs, or dragonflies. Alright, so these guys can go back. Alright, so butterflies, and then maybe, I'm just going to leave the butterflies open there. A few leaves. What do I have leaf-wise? Oh, these are pretty. I can stick them on white or whatever I want. Maybe 3 of those. Do some odds since I've got 4s. And what else do we have? We have a few of these that can be colored. Oh, there's another one. Oh, look at, there's an interesting one. It's already green. That works. Okay. So I'm going to leave that over here because I may put the remaining ones back in there. Flags and tags. I think I want to write a few things down. Now, this has a different title than I'm using, but it's all about things that I like. So I think I'll get to the flags and tags at the end when I'm ready to put some words down. A few flowers. Let's see. Let's start grouping a few things here. Imagine that some of these things are colored. I like this. And maybe if I put this over here, then this one can go here, then that one can go there. This guy doesn't have anything yet. But there we go, there's a few things. Sort of getting a layout happening. Now this big butterfly is pretty large. Now these guys are going to be trimmed out. I'm thinking that maybe that's a little too large. Whoops, put that in the wrong place. I like this size better. So there's a butterfly. There's a butterfly. This guy is a little too much. I like these plain ones. They can maybe kind of go here and about. These guys I can color. So these, maybe I can put that one there. And this one maybe there. And this one maybe there. Alrighty, now I want to look at some flowers that might coordinate. Whoa, got lots of flowers in here. So we have many different colors. I think I like the orange circular one. And not keen on the purples or the browns. Oh, here are some darker orangey ones. Let's see. I'm going to try to pull together a little bit of a collection of things. Let's see. These are blue, green, don't really work. Pink is too light on that. Oh, I like that puffy one. And so, okay, We got oranges. So we're good for oranges. This, alrighty, we may need some of those. Oops, got leaves in the wrong, oh no, that's a whole flower. This really isn't good. That's way too big, that one. Blue's not going to work. We could do some pink there. Blue isn't going to work. That's not going to work. This is kind of fun, but it would definitely get lost on there. There's a little bit of yellow. Pinks and purples. Let's see how those work out. There are a number of those ones would work. Okay, I'm just going to put those all there. And then I have a rose, which is pink, a bit too small. Don't want that. Oh, there's a green flower. Don't want that. Now, red with black. Could use that if I can't find red. This is actually, but this is more realistic than the other stuff, so that kind of stands out as being odd. It's purple. Okay, we're just going to keep these guys here for now. Alrighty, so what we have here is we've got some yellow that we can use. We've got orange that we can use. This is very pale pink. I don't like that. This is better. So we've got some pink. This is more reddish. Not very much reddish. Yeah, that's more pink. So I think we're going to use this guy for that one. And maybe that guy. Alrighty. So as you see, I'm just pulling stuff together. This is more pink with a little bit of greenery. Oh, there's some yellow little bits. Do I want it? No. Could add some greenery there. That might tie everything in a bit. Oops. So if I have some greenery that's hand painted, it might work out better. Alrighty. That's purples, but I like some of that greenery. So let's see what we have here. So we have a bit of green, a bit of green. We have some greenery there. We need a little bit of greenery here. These are kind of all stuck together. I don't really see anything there. This might be a piece I can pull some stuff off of. I don't want to pull too much off because I'd like to be able to use these again. Do I want to keep those? No. And I just need 2 flowers, I think. Okay. So I'm going to pull some greenery off of here. So should really be using my little scissors. There we go. So we have some greenery here. We have some greenery here. This isn't necessarily where it's going to end up. This can go in there, and that can go in there, and that's it for flowers. Okay. Journal spots I'll do after. Attachers. Yeah, do I have anything here that would be fun to attach? Oh, these are clips, but they're not the right colors. We have an orange that we can add there. And we have a hot pink. Oh, I can get it off. That I can add there. And we have, what else do we have? Oh, we have red in here. We have either this red, which is kind of nice, it's not a flower, and don't have any yellow, I don't think. I have this goldy color, which is along the yellow line. That's cool. Maybe I use a smaller red or smaller pink. There, I think that's a better size. And I can also use a smaller orange. There, I think that's better. They're a better size. All right. Stick this back on here. Put these back in my attachers. Alrighty, so we have something going on now. Alright, and then I want to put my title across the bottom. Okay, oops, that's stuck right down there. Okay, so let's first get our pieces attached. I'm just going to move everything off sort of so I know what I've collected for what. And we're going to get these guys stuck on. Okay. So I'm looking at having them come below my 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is my 6. So when I attach them, I keep this in mind that I want them to be above that, and maybe some of them a little below, but not many. And I'm liking the way this is flowing, so I think I'm just going to start putting things right down on the page. Now, I do not think I'm going to use string. I don't think I need to use string. That's my 6 there. Okay. This guy's got to go up there. Don't probably need that much adhesive. I'm going to bring this guy a little bit higher because we're going to have that butterfly there. Now these guys are going to crisscross each other. There we go. Kind of like that. A little lower. All right. Oops, gotta be careful not to. Okay, so there I am at this point. So this is where I'm at. Okay, so now I want to snap off, carefully snap off this clip. That's no garbage. And this guy I'm going to adhere with some glue because he's not going to stay on without the glue. So I'm going to put some glue on this guy. And this is 450 quick dry adhesive. It dries clear and it's awesome. You can get that at craftersworkshop.com. And now I think I'm going to have him right about there. There we go. Make his little ears come up so they're not falling off. Okay. Alrighty. So there's the beginning. Now we're going to start to develop what's happening here with the flowers. So I'm going to start on the left side just because that tends to be the side that I work better on. Now these have not been cut out. So I'm going to leave that to the last minute and trim those out. I don't want to waste your time while I'm doing that. Now I'm going to want to pop dot a few things. I'm going to want to color a few things. This is going to require some inking. So where is my... So for orange, I'm going to do a couple of different oranges. I got some bright orange. I got some light orange. And I want to get kind of a browny orange in there, like caramel. Okay, so just quickly, I've got my 3 colors. I'm going to start with the... Let's put that out of the way. I'm going to start with the light first in the center, and the light is the light orange. So here's what my colors are. This is what I always have to do before I start, so I know what I'm working with colors. So that's a fairly bright orange. That's a brown, yellow. Might use that for the other one as well. And this is like a dark orange. Okay, so caramel. We're going to start with caramel, and these are chameleon pens. I get these from the States. Paper Crafters Workshop has a different variety of pens. They're in the Spectrum colors, I think. The tri-blends and whatnot, so you can get a similar pen there. So I'm just going to start with doing the center of my well, actually I'm just going to go over the whole butterfly at the moment. Okay. Alright, so I've completed the entire butterfly with my lightest color. Now I'm going to go in with my darkest color, and I'm going to get the edges where I would like to see there be more color. So I kind of just go along the edges. The wood will suck the color in very easily, especially after just placing the previous color on there. And it may go longer than you really intend. I'm going to do the center of the body in dark orange. It's usually black. And now my middle color. My middle color I'm going to carefully add just to some spots. And I'm just kind of dotting in there. And you'll notice that the whole thing starts to blend together. So I'm going to get my permanent pen, and I'm going to go over this center piece. Now this marker is a fine marker, so it will bleed probably less. And it looks like I've lost an antenna on my butterfly. There we go. So there's the first butterfly. Now the second butterfly is small, so I'm not going to worry about that one. This third grouping has a butterfly, so this one is my red. So I'm going to work with red colors. I've got crimson red. Just want to double check what that looks like. Oh yeah. Crimson red. I have a burgundy red. Let's see what that looks like. That might be, yeah, that's okay. And then what other red do I have? And I have a cinnamon or a coral. I think I'm going to go with the cinnamon. No, I won't. Don't like that. Too orange. Cinnamon. Let's try the coral. Okay, that works a little better. This is the light one. Okay, so we're going to start with the light color all over. It's almost a pink, but we'll see what happens when we put it. Which side do I want? That side or this side? I think I want this side. So I'm going with the green, just coloring over my little piece. You can see my mat is full of color. I've been doing a lot of markering lately. Detail work. Okay, so we're almost there. Your fingers will probably pick up the ink while you're doing this. Okay, there we go. There's our light. Now let's put on our dark. And the dark is going to go along the edges here. Down here. And I'm going to have him on the body as well. And the legs. Okay. And there's not a lot of room for the medium color, but oops, we're going to stick it right in here. So we have 3 different colors on that one, and I'm going to blacken in the body and the legs. This pen doesn't bleed, which is good because it's a very fine pen, hard tipped. It is easier if you paint with the green or color with the green. I don't mind a little bit of the burgundy coming through because it makes it look like it's kind of hairy. So I'm not going to worry about getting everything colored up. There we go. Alrighty. That's that guy. We have flowers to do there, and we have a butterfly here, and this is yellows. So my yellows, I have, this goes to an orange. I think this is too much orange, yep. So we have yellow. I have 3 yellows. I think they might be too close in color, but we'll try it. So I'm looking at this one as being my lightest. And then my next one is going to be this one. Oh yeah, there's enough variety, I guess. And then my final one is going to be this one, ooh, which is like a gold. That'll work. Okay, so I'm going to paint all over with my lightest color again, like I did with the last one. Painting with the wood. Okay, and this is going to go over here. Oh, look at my finger. Uh-oh. That's not going to work, so we're going to have to flip it over. Let me wipe my fingers off. That's one thing you don't want to do, is get one ink from one thing to another. Just happen to have a paper towel. Wipe off my fingers. That's not a happy thing. And I actually like the other side better. That's not going to work. Let me try it and see if I can cover it with the orange. Because I like it now. See, it's too dark up there. Well, maybe I just won't worry about it. Maybe it's a blemish in nature. Nature's blemish. I think that would be a good thing. Okay. So now I have color number 3 on there, the darkest. And now in the light part, I am going to color this in. And my dark color I was supposed to put down the center here. There we go. And I just do that so that when the black goes on, it's not as obvious if I miss a spot. It's not as bright. It's really funny how it looks kind of hairy. All right, there we go. So there's the butterfly for the yellow. And I'm just going to color up some leaves now. Let's do one grouping at a time. This had its own leaves. That goes there. So these butterflies go back. One here. Okay. Those are all done. That needs to be put on something. I don't like that butterfly very much. It's too dark now. Oh well, anyway. Greens. Get my greens. Need a couple of different greens. 1, 2. So that says yellow. Let's see what we have here. We have, oops, green 1, green 2, whoa, good jump there, and green 3. Yeah, those work for me. Okay, again, with my 2 leaves, I'm going to have the light one on the whole leaf. All right, I'm done. This is the part that takes the most time. The layout is actually quite quick. Okay. Here's my light green. And then we go right to the dark green. Now, this one I am going to do 3 colors on, and this one I think I'm only going to do 2. So I'm going to go around the outside edge of this. And I think I'm going to put some middle green in there too. Okay. I'm going to give it a little bit of depth. Going to run some dark black down the stem. And then a little bit of lines in there so you can see kind of like a little bit of a halo. And where's my dark again? Gonna do my mid on this one. Now it's going to go down the center because that's usually darker, and come into the center because it's usually where you find the shadow, and then maybe just around the edge of the leaves, the tips. So you can see a bit of variegation on the leaf, and then some detail with the black marker. There we go. And now the flower, the final flower, and this is a yellow flower, so we're going to go back to our yellows. And we are going to, ooh, that's a bit of green. Actually, I don't mind the green. I'm going to put some of the green in the center here, where the center of the flower would be. And then I am going to go over with the middle yellow. Now, if I wanted, and I didn't have the right color, the right color butterflies and flowers and whatnot, I could easily, that's not dark enough, I could easily turn the flowers into a different color by just changing coloring over top of them. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. A little bit of depth. we are. Okay, so we've got our things happening now. And whoops, we got one more. This guy is just going to be darkest green with a little bit of black. So this one's more like a fern. Of course, the ink doesn't seem to want to take to this one as easily. Alrighty. And my black, just to go from here along the edge. And there we go. Beautiful. Okay, so we're ready to put it all together now. We've got these things all done. Let me just make sure I cleaned the ink off my fingers. And once we place them, we can put clear epoxy on top. Alrighty. So I want to start over here. And these guys I'm going to put in last, so you'll see those in the finish. I want to pop dot a few things. Whoops. I like these little black and gray guys. So we need to trim. Where's my little snippy scissors? Yes, when the workspace is busy, it's hard to find things. So I'm going to get a combination of leaves. So I'm just trimming these off to the side. Keeping some of the white on there so I can keep the two leaves together. And the reason I'm doing these leaves is because it just kind of pulls through the watercoloring effect. I want to pop dot a few of these. Those guys can be flat, that can be there. That's going to be flat. This, I'm going to curl up the edges by using my fingernail just to round out. See how it's just rounded? So that gives it a little bit of dimension. All right, so let's, whoop. And this little guy is kind of cute, so I'm going to pull him in here somehow. All right, I like the way the butterflies are kind of flitting off. That I can put in somewhere. This can go there. This will probably go behind there. This will be flat. That will be pop dotted. All right, I'm liking that. So the first thing I'm going to do is stick down this guy over here. All right, and now I'm going to pop dot this one. I could use my powder tool if I wanted to, which you can also get at Crafters Workshop. But because it's such a small piece, I don't think I need to. I just need two little pop dots. There we go. So pop dotting that right there. Now I'm just going to put a little glue on the back of this. There we go. Making sure it curls up. And that's going to go in there, right underneath. And that will come in somewhere And now I'm going to poke this guy out. Ooh, he's got lots of little doodads that need to come out. So when I ever have little holes like that, I just push them onto the paper, and you can see them stick. And they come off pretty easy. All right. Oops, there's stuff in the middle here. Woo! There we go. There we go. That one doesn't really stand out too much, which is unfortunate. But I can put some sparkle on him, and then he'll stand out. One butterfly. Another butterfly. Paper. Little puffy flower. This guy is going to go in behind there and come out probably there. Then I have to trim him, and I'm not going to keep you waiting for that. And then I can just put my push pin. Actually, maybe I'll put my push pin. Oops. In there. There we go. And this guy will somehow go in there. All right. So next one, a little bit of trimming required. Not too much. Just going to get close to the flower and then trim around the leaves close to the flower. So where things join, it's not an issue, but you have to kind of do a pointy thing, like right here. So I'm keeping that white on there, and then just kind of making these two meet each other. Okay, so that the white is still in between in that spot there. And same with that. So there's a little bit of white right in there. I don't know if I need that color. I think I'm going to say no to that. Put that aside for now. So there's one flower. Here's another flower. I think we're going to have that one pop dotted. I have a green leaf to go under the pop dotted one. My pink thing is going to go there. I'm going to trim this up, and then this will go underneath there, and I'll have a butterfly there. Nice. Okay, so let's just trim this a little bit. Again, into the center between the two leaves, otherwise it will fall off. There we go. Video is not going to be as quick today. Obviously, I'm doing a little bit more cutting than I normally do on a film. Usually I have this stuff prepped to go, but this is how you get to see how it all comes together. Alrighty, I'm just going to trim that a little bit. And then that can go behind there as well. Okay, I think I like that. get rid of some of my garbage here. I'm keeping these guys because I can use those. That's going to go back into flowers. Alrighty, good. Okay, so pop dotting that one. There we go. Got to trim it just a bit. And with these flat flowers that aren't chipboard, I like to round them so the pop dots make them. And the same way I rounded the leaves, you just take your thumb and you just push it in, and you'll notice that over time you start to get a little bit of rounding happening. So you see how it's getting rounded? And then when you put a few pop dots in there, it stays kind of cupped. I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm just going to put 2 in the center to keep it so that that roundedness stays there. Alrighty. So this one is going to go here. There we go. Oops. And I'm going to put some sticky on this right away. But I'm also going to flip the leaves up to give it some detail, and I'll show you the tips I flip back afterwards. So I flip everything up, and then just the tips I'll go in and flip back. It gets kind of bendy, it's alright, just round it out. The 2 small ones I'll leave. Alrighty, so then this goes there like that. There we go. I'm going to put just a little bit of adhesive under there. There we are. So it stays down in the 2 places. There we go. This guy is going to have some adhesive on the back. Oh, it's stuck to my leg. And go in there, which is fine. Okay, this guy we're going to have coming out of somewhere. I don't know where yet. Butterfly going in the opposite direction. This one is already trimmed out. Just going to take the leaves and curl them up a bit, curling them towards me. And then the flower, making it kind of rounded, but it's going to probably stay pretty flush to the paper. And I just bend the leaves forward from the ridge of the flower. Put on some adhesive, stick that under there. Oh, maybe over here. Where do I want to stick it? Stick it right there. There we go. This guy is going to go in here. Where do I want him to go? Like that. And then this guy will come over here somewhere. So this is where we're looking for that to go in, but I'll trim that out later. Alrighty, and then this one, we're going to round out around the edges of this flower bouquet because it's a wrapped bouquet. So you see how I'm making it like a funnel card? I'm just rounding the edges. So literally once you start to get it rounded, you can keep going. Alright, now I'm going to pop dot the top but not the bottom. So 1, 2 pop dots at the top, but at the bottom it's flat. Alrighty. There we go. Can turn up those leaves a little bit. Okay. Now these guys are going to get stuck behind. Just to give some flow. Okay, so here we go. Curling these leaves up. Curling the tips back. So they go up and back. Now this is I'm just gonna stick that there because we're putting our little flying insect. Butterfly, I think that is called. Oh. Okay. Having trouble with my adhesive. So I'm going to just stick that in there. Okay. Alrighty, now this guy. It's going to go in there. Alright. And then this is just going to stick in there. So as you can see, it's starting to pull together. And this one has a lot of leaves. I might have to add one of these leaves elsewhere, but let's see what happens. So this is my large flower. We're going to pop dot that. I could round this one, but it's a sticker, so it's a little trickier. Let's see. I'm going to pop dot that there. And then we have another little guy who's going to go right underneath. There we go. This guy is going to go right there. And then I'm going to do rounding of this leaf down the center of the leaf so it curls at the tip, and then on the outside we're going to go down either side from about center. So we have something like that happening, so you have some dimension on that leaf. And then there's sticky stuff at the bottom, and I'm going to put a pop dot in there to keep that up. Alrighty, there we go. So that kind of keeps that lift happening over there. Ah, and this has a butterfly, a big butterfly. Okay, I like this big butterfly. So I'm going to have this leaf coming down here and this leaf going up there. Yeah. Or do I think I need to have some green from the watercolor set here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to trim this a little bit. So that it doesn't look as white. just around that bit. This is the boring part of watching somebody do their fussy cutting. So hopefully you are fussy cutting as well. Excuse me. There we go. There's some of my garbage so I don't accidentally stick it to my page. Don't want to do that. Now this guy, I'm going to put some glue at the bottom. Whoops. There we go. Now I'm just going to roll some of these things over a little bit. And then some go backwards on the tips so they come back up on some of them. And then just stick that in there. There we go. Do I want this leaf coming down or this leaf coming down? I think I like this one. This leaf can go in there, come out. I'm going to leave that one for another, excuse me, another day. It's already colored, ready to go. All right. Oh, and we have, no, the purple butterfly wasn't working for us. All right. And we do have one of these guys to go in here. There we go. And I will incorporate this probably in there or back here. So let's kind of put that there. So there is the finished layout, more or less. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a title. And this title is, I'm going to steal the title right off the layout that's in the thing. It's a few things is what the title is. And now I just have to figure out which of my letters I want few to be in a different color than a few. So I want a and things to be in the same color and few to be in a different color. I think these guys are just too dark and too big. So I have yellow, and I have beige, and I have a lighter black. I think I'm going to do a and things out of this and few out of this. Or no, I think I'll use this because it's so different. Alrighty. So now I want a and few to be on the same line. So a and few are going to go across here and then things. So I'm going to use my letter positioner. There's a. And then I have want to make sure I'm going to line this up properly. So I measure the distance properly. I got 2 there. I'm going to have this go down a little lower. Few. And I like the idea of this being a bit of a bigger font. So this lining tool is very simple to use. You lay out your letters depending how big they are, and you just use 1 or 2 for your standard letters. If you're using those big letters, you might want to use this whole distance. And I'll show you how easily it comes off and leaves your words aligned. And once you have them on here, you can move them around a little bit. You can see where on the page you would like to have. Actually, I want to move this over here so there's more of a distance. There we go. A few, and then I can have things coming out the bottom here. And do I want it, just put that out of the way. There's like many places I can put it, but I think if I put it there, a few, it kind of leads me to want to put things here, but I don't have enough space. So I'm going to have it up here, and then I'm going to have things down here. So let me just line up my page, make sure that I'm putting things on straight, and I'm going to give myself about a 1/2 inch from the edge, and then there we go, about a 1/2 inch from the edge. There we go. So I'm going to have to move one over because it's hanging over that half. And this is a little crooked. All right, so now to use this, you put pressure on the top and you press the tops down. And then by just holding the tops, you bring this towards you, but push down here. And then everything just slides off. That sticker doesn't have a lot of stick. So we have a few. Now remember, got a few things making it look a little off kilter, but don't forget that these guys are going left and right and left and right. So a few, and then I'm going to put things underneath, all in caps. Yep, that works for me. And here we go. T, capital T. Capital H. Trying to leave 2 spots between each letter. What's going on here? These are very dry. I might have to re-stick these. So I guess this is going to be thing. I'm looking for my N. There it is. I'll sort this out once I get everything on it. Yeah, they're not sticking anymore. Things with an S. Okay, and then I want 3 dots. I have 1, 2, 3 dots. Yeah, so I have my dots here, but I guess I should leave space for them. So, but I will probably put them on separately. Dot. Oops. Oops. Dot. I'm leaving space. Dot. Dot. And 1 more dot. There we go. Dot. So. Okay, lost my shoe. All right, so now I'm going to line all these up properly so that they're on the same angle as each other. That's about right. And a little bit closer. There we go. And this guy has to be on the right angle. Bigger letters. wider letters you want to give some space to. A few things. That looks pretty good. My dots I'll put in afterwards. And I want to line it up with my page. And let's see. Dot, dot, dot. Bring it a little closer. There we go. I like that. I'm going to push everything down. Make sure it's all on there. Holding it with my hand, I'm going to lift the ruler up and everything just kind of pops off. We have a few, and now I'm going to put these guys on. And I have a little tool that helps me do that. You can use your pointer. Uh-oh, lost a dot. There it is. There's another dot. Okay. So I am going to, oh, I don't like that G. That G isn't exactly right. There we go. Now, I'm going to put my dots on an angle. One. Oops. Come on. Two. And my last one. There we go. 3. And there we go. So there's my title. Like I said, these are drying out. I can already tell I'm going to have to adhere them with some glue, but for now, we've got a few good things happening on this page. So now the final thing is to put what those few good things are. So I do that by using my small journal pieces. You can use old tags and just put them on white cardstock, or you can use pre-cut tags. Like I have some pre-cut tags that have jaggy edges. I have pre-cut tags in here that I've already lined. Let me show you. So they already have lines on them. Huh, where did they go? Maybe I used them all already. Oh, here we go. So these got, oh, again. Oh, there's one that's lined. So pre-lined. These are a little big for this activity. Oh, I see some here. There's another one. I like these kind of 3/8 of an inch to a 1/2 inch type pieces. I've got thin lines, thick lines, and I have no lines, but I like the lines, so I think I'm just gonna take a couple of these no liners and make, oh, see now I've got two kinds of white. I've got a bluish white and an off-white white. So that's going to make a difference to the paper that I use. I think I'm going to start with these blue ones. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I can cut them short or long. So let's see, what would be a few things that I love? I love coffee, so I'm going to put these guys away. Don't need those guys. And you might want to pre-plan this a little bit because you do want to make sure that you're putting stuff down there that makes sense. So for me, coffee totally makes sense. because I love coffee. It's my #1 love. So I'm going to write that. And I'm going to change it up. In there was love put into here. I guess I could put love there if I wanted to. And I might do that. Alright, so I usually use the plain side. My paper here has a texture, and I don't really want that texture, so I'm going to use the plain side. I'm going to use my black pen, and I'm going to write the word bold letters, coffee. Okay, now I'm going to just draw a line here, and then I'm going to, okay, so off my page so I don't get my page all wrecked. In order to draw a line along this edge, I'm not looking at the tip of my pen, I'm looking at the edge of the paper. That's how I am able to get a fairly straight edge. Doesn't matter if you get a really straight edge or not, it's supposed to be hand drawn. Okay, so there's my coffee, and I'm just going to trim that. So I love coffee is one thing. I love my dog. So I'm just going to write my dog, exclamation mark, and it fits in that piece. So I'm just going to draw my line across the top. Oops, I went off the edge there. Draw my line across the bottom. There we go. And that's #2. What else do I love? I love my friends. Okay, my friends. And I'm going to trim this before I draw my line just because it's a little too thick. And I'm going to draw my line first and then trim it back. That might be something I can use for a short one. There we go. There we go. All right, and now, there. Okay, so it's a little bit thick, so I'm just going to trim that out. There we are. So I love my friends, I love my dog, and so this is just the beginning, but in order to move along the video, I'll show you what I'll do. So, friends, dog, coffee, okay. And then I might put the letter L there. So let me see. I'm going to put, I'm going to use the same letters as that. So I'm going to have an L, L. Make sure that's straight up and down. L, O, I think I'll do it here. L-O, do I want it there? B, and E. I'm going to have to check if those are in the right. Maybe I'll put this one here. Make sure that they're flush and on the page straight. There, L-O-V-E. So a few things, L-O-V-E, that I love. So 1, 2, 3. So there we are. And that's it. And this has nothing to do with photos. There's no photos on this page at all. This is just me talking about me and the things that I love. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed doing that. And don't forget the other two that we have here, Adventure and Colorful. So those are our 3 layouts with tags. Well, thank you very much for watching, and look for the post that shows the finished with these pieces finished in it. All right, thank you very much for joining me today, and we will see you next Thursday. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I lost my mouse.